I know that a lot of people have issues and situations with their properties and a lot of the money that they're spending in their bills. And this is one of the reasons that I have this material with me. This is from the company Dow, and it's called the froth-pak 200. 200 because in this case will help me with 200 square feet, and I'll tell you in a moment what is it all about. So what is going on is that I live in an old house, and this old house, obviously, whenever I do any type of remodeling, I want to make sure that I can save as much energy as possible. That will be also something that means that I will pay less for my bills, especially in heating and cooling during the year. And that's one of the reasons. Other reasons that I have is that a lot of little insects and pests start coming in and out of the house because I don't have control through all the little crevices. So I started saying, well, I'm gonna take all these walls out. There's no insulation on the outer walls, and I wanna make sure that everything is nice and compacted, clean and sealed. And obviously regular insulation won't do that stuff. I was using some of the small little foam products, but there's just too much area to cover, and this is perfect. Now, I live in an old house, and that's what I do. But if you have a new project, this is perfect because it's gonna go through all the little crevices around the new electrical boxes, the new inlets for your PVC lines, or cast iron lines, whatever, all the sewer and water lines. This is perfect for that, especially also in areas where you wanna seal around your attic, your chimneys and all the stuff. If you have crawl spaces, that is perfect as well. If you have basements, you wanna make sure. Anyway, this will help you to avoid losing all that energy that is inside, the heating or cooling that you have inside your house. But before I teach you anything about it and I show you anything about it, I wanna let you know that this is obviously two chemicals that are compressed in two tanks, and you have to be careful with that. And that is something important because let's say if you have a worker, you have somebody or you're gonna do it yourself, I wanna make sure that you have the information that is gonna help you a lot to prevent any of those accidents. So first of all, this one cost me about $370, about $400 with taxes. I bought it on Amazon, but sometimes there are companies like Lowe's or Home Depot that will provide this thing. Sadly, I haven't seen that lately. But anyway, you can buy it on Amazon. I'm going to leave you in a description link so you can actually find it. You're going to find a few things. Obviously, you're going to have some specifications, and the specifications will help you with understanding what you have in your package, what is expected, and especially first aid kits. Now remember, these are tanks. You don't want to put things on top of this. You don't want to step on top of these tanks because you have a lot of moving part hoses and it's compressed material. You don't want to freaking break this thing and create a problem. If you have a problem, obviously right away 911, try to get all the clothes out of the person. If this thing cuts on fire, there is something that I always keep in my workplace, and that is a fire extinguisher. You want to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher because, if you're working in temperature that are extremely hot, which I don't recommend, you want to make sure that you can prevent any issues. So you want to have a fire extinguisher that is for that type of purpose. Now remember that you don't want to let this freeze. So you have to keep it about 45 degrees Fahrenheit so you don't have that issue. Or obviously the best temperature that you can work with is about 70 degrees. So you want to make sure that you work on those times of the day when you have that. You don't want to have walls that are 40, 50 degrees or less because it's not going to expand properly. So if you want to do something like that, you want to make sure that you have the area nice and conditioned for that purpose. Now, another important thing that you need to remember is that you need ventilation. If you don't have ventilation in those areas, you're going to suffocate yourself and the people that is around, and it can cause irritation and all that. So you want to make sure that you have windows and doors open. You want to make sure that you can exhaust that air out. So what I normally do is that if I'm in a room, I open a window and I put my fan on the window. If I have like an area exhaust fan that I can put there, in construction sites you can put it, then you want to make sure that you can remove all that stuff because that can cause a lot of issues. Not only that, but when you're working, you want to make sure that this thing dries properly. So having a lot of the moisture, a lot of the material around is not going to help you, to do that stuff. You have about 30 seconds of curing time. This thing, as it goes on the walls, is going to show you that it's expanding. So that's why you want to use this in about 2-inch thickness, and I'll show you in a moment. But another thing that is important is this type of foams are really sticky. So if you have an old house like my house, you want to make sure that you clean, you sweep you vacuum, you do anything so you can have all those surfaces as clean as possible, because you don't want to put this on top of a layer of dust that is just not gonna grab, or you know, wood chips, or you know, wood dust, or whatever dust you're creating. You want to make sure that you have those areas nice and clean, because that's the best way of optimizing the adhesiveness of the material on your surface. So that's really important. So I go through the step as well. So I use vacuums and I use brooms and try to move all that air out, obviously, you know, because I'm fixing my house. Now, the other important thing is that if you have a new house, it's nice. I mean, it's nice and clean, but make sure that all those areas are nice and clean. So, and you identify all the issues. You don't want to be looking for holes after you have all this ready, and I'll show you why. So, another important thing for this is to have the proper gear. So the proper gear will be a nice full cover suit that will help you, you know, to avoid any type of the material in your body, and also some protective goggles, a nice mask. If you have a full covering mask with all these nice filters, perfect. Is you want to make sure that you avoid all that stuff. And for me, one of the most important things is to have a lot of ventilation, and obviously wear some gloves, because this material will stick in your fingers and it's really hard to remove once it's there. Obviously cover all the areas where you're going to work. So if you have some sort of like hard material to put on the floors, a drop cloth or something, do that. Make sure that you cover all your windows, make sure that you cover all the doors, places that you don't want this thing on, because by mistake, if you move it around, you may, you know, get that involved in your situation, right? So the idea is to make sure that you measure really well where you want to do. And for that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your measurement tape and you're going to go around those outer walls, or the walls that you're concerned about, and or the areas, and you say, you know what, how much space I want to cover with. Now remember that this is a material that is designed, in this case, in this presentation, designed for you to fill sections that are about 2 inches, right? So it expands. So if you have moving parts, cables and stuff like that, you want to make sure that it is nice and strapped, because you may push it, you know, out of the wall or the studs, or you want to make sure everything is nice and secure. And obviously this thing, if you want to fan more on top of it or whatever, you want to wait a little bit for it to cure, and I'll show you the steps in a moment. So you want to make sure that you measure really well, you determine the amount of material that you want, and based on that, you order the proper product, right? So that's an important thing. So once you open the box, you're going to find some important information inside. First of all, you're going to have information in French, you're going to find it in Spanish and English. It's really important to go over the information. You know, sometimes if you're not going to go over, that's why I'm here for. But obviously read this thing, because it says stop, you know, read this information. So it's important for you to go through all this, pretty much what I'm trying to cover right now. Once you open this, you're going to find the first thing that you're going to see are all these nozzles, all these little tips that you see here. Now there are only 2 kinds, but there are 4 and 4 of each. And the reason of this, actually 4 and 5, what the heck? Yeah. So the idea with this is that with these blue ones, you have a whole bunch of them anyway, but only the 2 kinds that I see here. You can actually order a third one, but in this case, you have the blue one over here that is going to give you like a fan spray pattern, and this one is going to be to the point. So it's going to be like a little round spray there. So it's nice and round, and this one has a fan. So you want to make sure that you use the proper one for the particular purpose. Let's say you have an entire house, you want to seal all the little holes. The idea is to go with this, somebody with you carrying, because it's fairly heavy. You want to carry this thing and spray it, right? So that's the important thing. The other important thing is that obviously every time that you work with this, you have about 30 seconds before it solidifies over here, and that's why they give you a lot of tips. But it's important for you to have all the areas ready. You don't want to have all this material there sitting, and then it's going to clog over here. You're going to have a lot of frustration. So make sure that everything is ready, everything is clean, everything out of the way, so you can work in your situation. Now, you have also this little petroleum jelly over here, and this is something that you're going to put between the tips. You want to make sure that this is applied before you put the tips, because it will help you to avoid sticking these nozzles against the fan. So as you open this up, you're going to find a nice, lever over here, a nice handle. And this handle, what it's going to do is that it's going to allow you to transport the entire box, right? Transport it by itself. It's better to keep it in the box. But an important thing that is obviously required is to check this really well. So you want to make sure that you move it. You don't want to just bang it against some surfaces, right? You want to move it. You want to make sure that it's really well moved. These materials are different and they will mix on the nozzle. So that's why they need to have the same amount of pressure. That means that you're going to open all the valves all the way. You're going to open all the valves all the way. So this already comes already nice and tight. You will see the material flowing through the hoses, going to the same place. And what you're going to do is, once it is in your gun, you know, the gun is going to come over here. You're going to have, see, you have a little safety mechanism. It's not going to spray over here, so you have to push it, and then it's going to go all the way. Now your tips are going to go inside here, and here's where we need to put the petroleum jelly so it won't stick against the other material, right? And an important thing, obviously you have a lot of more information over here, is that if you are going around the house, because it's a new house, you have different areas, you want to make sure that you have somebody that is helping you, because you don't want to be carrying the stuff, hoses on your hand, plus this material is going to be in your way. So you want to make sure that you prepare for that, right? Important thing again, make sure that all the air is venting out of the rooms, because it will create a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Now, when you apply the material, you're going to apply it in a way that you can cover all the areas no more than 2 inches thick. If you want to weigh more to have those studs level or whatever, you're going to reduce the amount of coverage, obviously, and you have to wait for the material to dry. Hence, you need to discard the tip, put the tip again, and all stuff. In my case, I already know that I have about 200 square feet of different crevices. I have some little areas where I can apply more if I need to. So I know that I'm going to use all the material. But if you maybe use 3/4 of it, you want to make sure that you spray everything else, because once it's mixed, it becomes inert. So it won't affect a lot of issues. So you want to put it into a trash bag or something, maybe with kitty litter. Make sure that everything is decompressed from this material, because it will cause a lot of issues if it's like that. You don't want to dispose this in a regular landfill. You want to bring this to a hazardous material place. So that's something that you need to consider. Obviously, anytime that you're working with this, keep your fire extinguisher, keep it away from flames, keep it away from situations that it can be hazardous. Somebody's moving a lot of materials through it and it can break the valve. God knows what kind of accident can you just prevent. Use common sense and make sure that you work with good areas. Remember, if this thing starts overheating because you're working 110 degrees, 100 degrees, make sure that you have a lot of ventilation and don't apply a lot, because you have a reaction that creates some sort of a temperature exchange. It rises. So you want to make sure that you control those things. If you feel like it's too strong, you walk out. It's better for you to walk out of the place and change the tip later on than just have a respiratory problem. So that's something that you need to prevent. It normally won't happen, but you want to prevent all these things, because you don't know, I don't know in what conditions you're going to work on. So that is the material, and once it's nice and dry and you apply all your material, you're ready for your insulation, for your other work. This will help you with the first barrier of protection for your house, avoiding all the little animals, insects, and all these things, drafts, all the air that is being moved, and you're changing and you're losing a lot of the heating or the cooling of your house, and it will help overall with noise and all that stuff. So it's a really great material. I'm telling you to use this because it helps a lot of frustrations, and why not? You're doing something that you want to last for a couple of decades. So you want to do it in the right way, and you avoid all those issues. Now, I urge you to follow my channel, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you can actually see a lot of more videos that I have in Spanish and English, because it will help a lot of people. And you can follow me in other social media pages like Facebook as Hugo Correa DIY, and as Hugo F. Correa DIY on Instagram. So I hope this video will give you a lot more understanding of how to use it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.